everyone, how are you? I'm Rosa. The theme for this year's season of creation is Jubilee for the Earth. During this season, let us celebrate the goodness and beauty of creation. Thank God for His love and mercy, and pray that we may care for our common home and give our earth rest from our own greed and destruction, so that it can continue to sustain and govern the earth community. Sister Marietta Banayo, who will help us in our reflection today, is a religious from the Missionaries of the Assumption. Her apostolic works were in education formation, diocesan and parish work, and counseling. She was in different mission areas of Davao City, Davao del Oro, Zamboanga del Sur, Lanao del Sur, Solomon Islands, and now in Agusan del Sur, the Philippines. She reflects on Laudato Si number 11 on awe and wonder in approaching the creation of God. She also reflects on our kinship in contrast to our being masters, consumers, and ruthless exploiters of nature.
Good day, everyone, both humans and nature. My reflection today will focus on the text of Laudato Si number 11 by Pope Francis, which says that if we approach nature and environment without this openness to awe and wonder, if we no longer speak the language of fraternity and beauty in our relationship with the world, our attitude will be that of masters, consumers, ruthless exploiters, unable to set limits on their immediate needs. By contrast, if we feel intimately united with all that exists, then sobriety and care will well up spontaneously. Truly, these are very deep, powerful, and challenging statements or exhortation by Pope Francis, that every human person on this earth must seriously reflect and live out as urgent and indispensable, especially in the context of our time, at the threshold of the third millennium and the very recent and nerve-wracking experience of the global pandemic of this COVID-19. I wish to offer some points for reflection to deepen our desire to live out the challenge of this part of Laudato Si. First point, approaching nature with awe and wonder. It is unbelievable that when one gazes at nature of whatever kind, that she or he will not feel awe and wonder. In my own experience of looking at nature, I cannot help but be awe and wonder, because immediately I say to myself that no one person can create this particular nature, but only and only God, and no one else. The very intricate part of that nature and its uniqueness, God, the Creator, is the only author of it. Hence, I cannot help but connect myself to God, who also created me by being grateful to Him, to our God. That means to be awe and wonder is to acknowledge God's presence in nature and in me as well. So, I am challenged to relate well with nature, with respect, honor, and care, just as I respect, honor, and care for my God and myself. The second point of this reflection, seeing the beauty of nature. I suppose anyone who looks at nature, if the person has a heart for nature, will truly see its beauty and all its intricate parts. One can see the beauty of nature if one really spends time to look at it more closely. At first sight, maybe we will not right away appreciate its beauty. But when we spend time to gaze on nature, then we can see its beauty. For me, all nature is beautiful if seen through the eye of the heart. Many times in my experience of engaging with nature, I see its beauty and splendor. As I continue to look at them more closely, my heart beats with them, as if telling me that they are beautiful to behold, and so for my eyes only to appreciate and not to harm them. If it is so needed, I must ask permission from them, because they also have feelings like me. The third point of the reflection, relating with creatures as brothers and sisters like Saint Francis. Every relationship is premised by connectedness to every creature where one thrives. This does not only happen between humans, but also to nature, who are also creatures. Since all creatures are created by God, in a way, we also have to treat other creatures as our brothers and sisters, so as to relate with them as such. Saint Francis is very strong in this kind of relationship with creatures because of his deep sense of connectedness to God, who created him and the creatures. It is not a blood relationship, but more than that, the bond of a common origin existed between humans and nature, who are all creatures or being created by a one God from the beginning of time, which is very clear in the book of Genesis. Hence, all created beings must relate with one another as brothers and sisters. In my own experience of talking to other creatures like plants, animals, or trees, I experience a sense of being one, even if I receive a silent response from them. One day, I just noticed that a flower blooms, a tree bears fruit, or a wind comes and the clouds appear. What a marvel it is for me. Saint Francis is right by relating to creatures as brothers and sisters. So, if we relate to them like that, respect, honor, and care must be afforded to them. The fourth point of the reflection, caring for our brothers and sisters. Every relationship demands care, not exploitation. Otherwise, it is not a genuine relating, but only using at the expense of the other. Since we treat other creatures or nature as our kin, then we are bound to care for their welfare and well-being at all times. Every time I see a dried soil in the plants, my heart is moved with pity because no one cares to water it. This simple act means a lot to a plant. For seeing an animal's skinny bone because no food is given disturbs my conscience that no one dares to give food to that creature for his nourishment. I do admire and appreciate people caring very well for other creatures, both nature and humans. To go an extra mile to express care and concern for other creatures is the challenge from the gospel of Jesus. Because even Jesus broke the Sabbath to save human and other creatures by healing them. During this time of the pandemic by COVID-19 virus, we are all confronted and challenged to give extra care and concern for each other and for other creatures as brothers and sisters. Nature will surely assist the humans to conquer this pandemic because they provide us with a way to help us combat this virus. A clear example of this water that cleanses us. Today, every day, we are told to wash our hands after we hold something. Plants that give us nutrients for our body to fight this virus. Is not this a symbiotic relationship of caring? Surely, it is. So our challenge now is to give extra care for them because they too care for us humans. In summary, as what Laudato Si number 11 states, unless we are growing intimately with our relationship with nature or other creatures, aside from humans, we will have a difficulty in relating with them without being masters, consumers, and ruthless exploiters who have no consideration of their feelings of the harm we humans inflict on them. My dear friends, the challenge for us human beings is to become their partners as our next of kin in making Mother Earth, our common home, healthy, safe, and livable for all. Thank you for listening. May you have been inspired and challenged to live out the call of Laudato Si at this time. God bless us all.
Do I regard creation as sacred and unspirited? How will my relationship to nature change if I regard nature as sacred and unspirited? All-powerful God, you are present in the whole universe and in the smallest of your creatures. You embrace with your tenderness all that exists. Pour out upon us the power of your love, that we may protect life and beauty. Fill us with peace, that we may live as brothers and sisters, harming no one. Creative Spirit, enlighten our hearts and remain with your world. May the light of Christ shining in the heavenly skies radiate in you. May the presence of the Spirit flowing in the air and in the rivers bring you peace. And may God's blessing liberate you from all that is destructive and exploitative in you and make you whole and holy so you can become channels of God's liberating love for all life on earth. Amen.